Hello guys, welcome to this video. My name is Mr. Pauline. Now we are still looking at the VID theory lesson 5, and here we have the 5 classes of road traffic signs that we have in Zimbabwe, and that is the danger warning sign, regulatory sign, informative sign, traffic light signals, and carriageway markings. Now on the first two part of this course, we did the danger warning signs, and this is something like this, and I'll leave a link to this video in the description of this video so that you can just go and familiarize with these questions here. Then we also have the danger warning signs that we have here. As you can see, we also did that, so you should also watch that video to familiarize yourself with this. Now here I want us to look at the informative class. Now one thing that we know about the informative class is that it here's an insignia of a rectangle. So just wait a moment, I'm about to get there. So we're not going to be talking a lot about a informative class, so because there's not much to talk about. So these are the signs that are in the informative class, and as you can all note that in these ones you have a rectangular sign. So the main purpose of these signs is to inform the driver. So they inform the driver things like the speed, the direction, the distance, and stuff like that. So here we can all note that this one says Mutara Inyanga. This is just showing the direction that in Mutara should go straight, Inyanga should turn left here. Okay, so this one check with 269, Gweru 264, or Blawaya 428. So that's the kilometers that you are supposed to travel in order to reach these respective places. Okay, Marondia. Now this now shows you that we are now in Marondia. So this is a place name sign, and this one is a distance sign. Just show you that for you to get to Gweru, you are left with about 20 kilometers. Now here is a detour. This also shows you a detour. This one is a police ahead sign. So this one is used and erected by the police only. This sign indicates that traffic should slow down and expect to be stopped by the police. So that's the main use of the sign. Then we also have this dual carriage ahead. So obviously you get the point that when you see these signs, so it just aims to inform the driver. So this one is a hospital, so also informs to inform the driver of the direction to the hospital. However, we also have this sign that is a circular shape. So this one is what we call an odd one out sign in the informative class, in that it does not have this shape that correspond to an informative class. So this one is a circular shape instead of a rectangular shape, and we're going to discuss more about that in the next slide. So this is the sign that we call a de-restriction sign. So let's read about that. The de-restriction sign indicates end of a special imposed speed limit. Okay, so what do we mean by that? So to simplify things, a de-restriction sign means cancellation of a previously imposed speed limit. Now each time we talk about a speed limit, we're talking about a restriction sign. So a restriction sign, we know that we can find that in the regulatory class. So I want us to look at this sign specifically here, 80 kilometers per hour. Now let's say that you're traveling on the road, right? Here I'm going back to regulatory signs because I want you to understand that sign from the context of this sign. Okay, now let's say you're traveling in the road, right, and you see this sign, you come across the sign 80 kilometers per hour. So don't mind the sign, I've already explained that. So if you want to know more about this sign, just go in the description of this video. You'll find a link titled restriction signs. Just watch that video, you learn more about that. Now going back to this sign here, so this is what we call a de-restriction sign. Now this is what we call a speed limit sign, in that you're not supposed to travel above 80. So 80 is your speed limit when you come across this sign. Okay, I said that the authorities wants to cancel that 80 kilometers per hour. So what they would normally do is that they would now inform the driver. See how we are moving from a regulatory sign to an informative sign, in that the regulatory sign was informing the driver that he should not travel above 80 kilometers per hour. Here want to inform the driver that you can now travel above 80 kilometers per hour. That's where this sign comes in. It's an informative sign in the sense that it informs the driver that, you know what, that 80 kilometers per hour that you're traveling it, we now have cancelled it. So this is most probably the sign in the informative class that I should stress on, because So actually this is supposed to read informative sign here. Sorry about that. Let me just correct that. Just a second. So here, right, informative sign. So here this sign is in the informative class in the sense that it's now cancelling that 80 kilometers per hour. So it's a cancellation of a previously imposed speed limit. So you are traveling down the road, that speed limit that was imposed on that portion of the road, we now cancel it. So what does that mean? It means that you can travel above 80. So before you are allowed to travel above 80, you should have seen the sign. You see this strike through here, this black strike through, it means that this one is a cancellation. So what that tells you is that this sign is a cancellation of a previously imposed speed limit. So what that tells you is that the sign is a cancellation of a previously imposed speed limit. So that's what it means here. It means that end of specially imposed speed limit. Okay, so these signs are exactly the opposite. This sign here that you see with the red, this sign restricted the driver to 80 kilometers per hour. Now this sign will tell the driver, you know, that speed 80 kilometers per hour, we now have cancelled it. So this sign is an informative nature. This sign is a restrictive nature. It's a regulatory nature. So this sign, that's why this sign is in the regulatory sign and this sign is in the informative sign. Well guys, that's it on informative sign. Well, there's not much to talk about, okay, because there's really not much on informative sign. But anyways guys, thanks so much for watching. All of these signs on informative sign, they are very simple and they don't ask a lot of questions on informative sign. If they did, I would have told you, and I have taught a lot on that. So this is the sign that you need to note, because a basic question will come like this: what does this sign mean, or this sign is in which class? So note that it is an informative class, and the sign means that it is a cancellation of a previously imposed speed limit. Now in our next video, we're going to be looking at traffic light signals, and I hope you really enjoy that. So please do make sure that you watch that on our next video. So thanks so much guys for watching. We are still looking at our 5 classes of road traffic signs, and the next video is going to be even better. So thanks so much guys for watching. I'll see you later in the next video. Goodbye.